beautiful afternoon on a Sunday. It's just a gorgeous day out here. No wind, bright, sunny. Very colorful out there in the woods right now in Ely and in the 60s. And so it's just a beautiful day, and we've got a nice group of people here for the 1 o'clock behind the scenes. And I turned the mic on a little earlier than I did 2 hours ago. I was a little delinquent at the 11 o'clock, and I apologize for that, but I'm on time this time. So I'm going to keep this microphone on for all our worldwide podcast listeners to listen to everything I say to the folks here in the viewing area. And for many of you who have been here, you know we're in the bleacher-style seating looking at the pond and the waterfalls. So I want to talk to the people here at the Bear Center, and of course you people on the podcast listen as well. Because we will be going back to see Ted Bear, and there have been sightings of Tasha Bear since 11 o'clock as well. But we'll see if Tasha shows up. For you people here at the Bear Center, we did establish the Bear Center in 2007 here at this location. And when we established it here, we took the acreage that's in front of you, approximately 2.5 acres, and we double fenced it. And we double fenced it for 2 reasons. Number one fence keeps our bears in. The other fence keeps all the other critters out, meaning white-tailed deer, wolves, and foxes and things like that. Well, when we came here, we also noticed that we have some natural bear foods in the 2.5 acres. We have things like raspberries, blueberries, tin cherries, choke cherries, ryegrass, and clover, to name a few. And our bears will forage on that when it's ripe and time for them to forage. But we are the vast majority of their food source. And we usually get asked, where do we go grocery shopping for our bears? Well, we go to the same place you folks do, the grocery store. And probably just in a little larger quantities. But we go to the grocery store. When we came here, we also created a man-made pond with some waterfalls. And the pond serves a number of purposes. Number one, of course, it makes it look beautiful. But more than that, it shows you black bears are superb swimmers. Our bears do go in there and swim. And on warm summer days, it's a place for a black bear to cool off. And black bears in the wild do use a river, stream, or pond to cool off, because it doesn't have to be that warm in the summertime when a black bear still has their winter coat on in May and June to overheat. So a 60, 65 degree day can be pretty warm for a black bear who has their winter coat on, so they find a river or a stream or a pond to cool off. Well, we do have 4 black bears here at the Bear Center, and I'm going to go through them a little bit with you. You're going to see Ted Bear. Ted Bear over here, I'm pointing to his picture above me. He's 19 and a half years old, and the only bear we have that was captive born and captive raised. Lucky Bear. Lucky Bear is our 9.5-year-old male, neutered male, and he's from Wisconsin. He was actually up at noon, our last tour back there. Pretty sleepy, pretty lethargic, but he was up, so you might see Lucky Bear. Holly Bear is our 3.5-year-old female. She's a southern gal, and she comes from Arkansas. Holly Bear, again, born of a wild mother. Doubtful you'll see her. We have not seen her today. We did see her for like 2 minutes for breakfast, but we have not seen her since. Tasha Bear, she has the smallest picture up there. She's a 21-month bear, so she's a yearling, going to be 2 in January. She's also a southern bear. She comes from southern Kentucky, and again, born of a wild mother. Tasha was seen about the last hour, and you may have an opportunity to see her when we go back there. So I just want to talk briefly about Lucky and Holly and why it's possible you may not see them. In the Ely area, September and October are months that wild bears begin to den in this part of the northeastern Minnesota. And denning is not really a function of it's getting cold, it's snowy, it's icy, and all that, because, of course, that's not what's happening right now. It's a function of lack of food in the wild. So here in the Ely area, if you were up on all your wild bear foods and you could take a walk in the woods, you wouldn't find much out there for our bears, for wild bears. So Mother Nature says to the wild bears, you know, you're out here wandering in the woods and there's no food, and you're expending a fair amount of energy. Why don't you go hibernate? So that process of bears here in the Ely area are already in process of hibernating. And that's exactly what Lucky is doing. He's behaving like he's in slow motion, and he actually is, because he is slowing down his metabolism, getting ready to hibernate. That's the same situation with Holly there. She is also pretty lethargic and not very interested in food or attention. It's just they're both getting ready for a winter's nap. So that's what we are probably going to see. And I'm going to give you just a few brief instructions before we go out. From here where you're sitting right now in the viewing area, out and back, it's about 1 city block long, and it's an easy walk. I'd ask that you please stay together as a group. That's always helpful to hear questions and answers. You can take pictures and videos all you want. And I think I said if you do ask me a question, I will repeat it so everybody hears question and answer. And the last thing, since we have a lot of children here today, and it's great to see kids, love the kids, but for everybody, please stay 3 feet away from the fence line. And that's because if we see Tasha and Holly, they certainly can reach through the fence. And when we, as caregivers, get close to the fence, they actually expect a food reward. So if you were to get close to the fence, you would not have that food reward. Okay?